Okay, hi, welcome back, Nenad. It's wonderful to be here, and I've got a few more questions. I've got a few more questions for you. Okay, I think we've also got a bit of delay as well on the recording. So I have here one question that somebody's asking is, would you say the most important thing that you have learned from mental wandering and magical evocation, how has it impacted on your life? So what would you say was the most important aspect you've learned from mental wandering and a magical evocation, and how has that impacted on your life? We kind of touched on some of those experiences already, that you spoke about music and art and those things.
Exactly. I think that we already talked about that, but I can say only to repeat a little bit. At the beginning was my wish to understand if there is a life after death. But now, after so many years after that, I think that the most important lesson is freedom and the endless opportunities of learning and limitless possibilities of one's existence. That's it, I think.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. During your mental wandering and during evocation, did you have any frightful or dangerous experiences? If so, could you tell us of an episode?
Okay, sure. I think that there were several types of dangerous experiences I'd like to mention now. The first possible dangerous experience is when you see a certain, let's say, creatures, human-like creatures, let's say malevolent demons, who are very, very open about hurting yourself. So I met several such individuals. They told me several very interesting stories about my life. They knew everything about me, and they also told me like, we know how to find you. It's very easy. We know your address, and we know your telephone number. And then they told me my telephone number. I was totally shocked because even I don't know my telephone number because it has so many numbers. I never, care about learning that, because in China we have 12 different, but they knew. So it was really, really very dangerous. Okay, then immediately I used certain of my, magical protections, like evoking this great God's name Adonai and certain other things. And I also have my personal mantra. Everybody should probably have their own personal mantra how to scare away those not nice spirits, so to say. This is one thing. So there are certain spirits over there who know exactly who we are, and by purpose they would like to harm us. This is what I really think. The second thing is not so scary, but it's the second type of scary experiences they're not really, far away from being bad. They are absolutely amazing, but they are also very scary. They're awesome. But I need to mention that those are certain kinds of apocalyptic visions, like you are witnessing the end of the world. And it can come in many different shapes. I think one possible apocalyptic version is the apocalypse by water, which could have happened before, like the great floods, the fall of Atlantis, and so on. So it did happen to me to revive those memories from the past, being in Atlantis during their last days, and they were mentioning about the rain, and everything was like going. Or it can be like the apocalypse by fire, which means like certain terrible cosmic events which would influence our Earth, so that we would like end up in total disaster. What really fascinated me the most about these apocalyptic visions were people around me, because all of them were scared, me too, but all of them took it like accepted it, took it with acceptance. Like, yes, in a way, it's happening. It's catastrophe. It's somehow we accept it. What to do? Maybe even the feeling, yes, we are a little bit guilty because of that too, you know. So not a little bit, but maybe a lot of it. So this is the second types of those dangerous moments in evocations or mental wandering. And the third one is when you do something, some kind of scary visions, which are not really scary, you know, but maybe fun, or, you know, at the end, you got to get used to them, you know. Once I was met by some spirits with their heads off, and so maybe it's scary. It is, but you know, I don't know really what it is, but it's not really so scary actually, but it can happen. And the fourth thing, which is really scary and also a bit funny, it is when you evoke somebody before too early, or you make evocation and the spirit appears in their full forms, but you didn't expect them, you know? And this can be very scary, because sometimes, you know, even now after so many years of practicing, I was just it was very interesting. It was not scary at all, but I was scared. So like I didn't expect this. I evoked a gnome king. I evoked him, and he appeared suddenly, immediately, you know, in his physical form, almost physical form, with his golden crown. He was great and so on. I said, my God, what's that? I was scared, you know, because I didn't expect him so fast. And I said, ah. And he was also scared too. When he saw that I was scared, he was scared, so he ran away. It was like in those movies, you know, people met, like, oh, alliance met with people, and they start screaming at each other. Yeah. So this is the fourth type of scary, so-called scary situation, when something happens before you expected them to do. So of course, after that, I said, oh, how stupid you are. But you know, even after, you know, so many years of practicing, this is happening, at least to me, you know. Sometimes you got really scared because you didn't expect certain things happen so real and so early. That's it. Yeah, those are the things I would say are scary about magic. But there are another thing, okay, which is, okay, this is not scary, but maybe we can talk about it later, but I would really like to talk about this. It is something which is called UPG, or Unproved Personal Gnosis. And this is a little bit dangerous for everybody. That means that, for example, I had my visions, like of the Mercury sphere, of Mars, and I went through certain adventure. I saw certain cities and people and spirits. And then I say, okay, you do exactly like I am, and you will experience the same. This is something which many, I say, advanced people, like advanced in magic, they fail there, because my experience will be different than your experience, I'm sure. There will be some elements which are, so to say, connected. Maybe you will, probably you will meet that spirit, the same as I met, but the whole experience will be totally different. Let's say if you and me are from the other planet and we want to visit this realm, this world, physical reality. If you end up in Thailand, and if I end up in the North Pole, we'll have totally different impression about the Earth. We go back, we'll report about two totally different things. They say, okay, maybe one of us was wrong. What's that now? No, nobody was wrong, but it was just different. So this can happen, and this really can happen. So nothing can be identical. And that's why I always a little bit, but there are other magicians, you know, could say, oh, UPG, it's nothing good about that. Please reject those. I said, no, of course not. It's very important. And with communication with your friends, you can see that my UPG can be similar with your UPG. And this is very interesting. This is how we create some kind of story about different planets, about different spirits. This is art, actually. Because the magic can be science, but UPG, I think, is art. And so I really strongly disagree with some magicians, advanced magicians, who say, no, UPG, we don't take into account UPG experience. It's like, no. It can be really only your own fantasy or whatever, you know. I don't agree with that either. So this is not a danger of magic, but it is a problem in magic.
How would you say that the difference between, obviously we get people who maybe have not gone through the training, and they're believing that they're seeing things or hearing things, or what is the difference between genuine spiritual experiences and illusion or imagination? Because I think there's a trap that people can fall into regarding this when working on these things, and you have to. What do you have as a fail self?
This is a very, very important question, and this is really what I'd say distinguish our goal, which is advanced magic and so to say new age, which has a lot of, I mean, good things in new age we have too, but there are also many wild theories and conspiracy theories, many strange things. And that's it. When I talk about advanced magic, I'm actually talking about following the hermetic line of thinking, hermetic philosophy. This what we are doing. It's absolutely nothing new. If somebody say, "Okay, here I am, and I'm like now advanced magicians," I'll tell you something new. I'll tell you something which was discovered by me. This is dangerous to say. This should be a false guru. Then I mean, no. I mean, I think that we're not discovering anything new. We're just following this old hermetic tradition, starting from the Hellenistic time through the Middle Ages, and you know, even Arabian magic and Middle Ages, Renaissance magic, Giordano Bruno, up to our days. This is this golden line, or maybe say mercurial line. We need to follow this mercurial line of rationalism, actually, and this is not easy because we'll find many obstacles in our ways. We'll find religious dogmas. We'll find very rigid scientific thinking, rejecting all kinds of mysteries and magic. Then we'll come up to now, you know, like new age wild theories and fake people, fake gurus, taking care only about earning money and I don't know. And then we have so many naive people. And probably what we're talking about, this hermetic knowledge and hermetic art is not, unfortunately, very popular. So, I mean, 90% of people will still believe in wild new age theories than about what we're talking about. But you know, maybe time will change, maybe. But yeah, that's it. So yes, I think to preserve the rational mind is the most important thing of all, and of course, the inner balance, the equilibrium between the 4D elements. Not exaggerate. Try to keep everything balanced within yourself. Because you know, when you open one room, this mystery room, you can really get passionate about. You're discovering not only your new talents, but your all forgotten talents, so to say. But you're also awakening certain, so to say, new passions, maybe. So you always need to be in control with yourself, not to exaggerate in one side or another.
So what would you say
coming back to Bardon's first book, that's the reason why, one of the main reasons why this book is so much important, because by following this book, you will not get lost, and you will not start believing into some fake gurus, maybe.
Take us through, for I think those our listeners would be interested in hearing about the differences between how your process of evocation, what you do, and also mental wandering. And I wonder if you could take us through your evocation. So if you wanted to contact Earth Girdling Zone spirit, what would you do? And also the spheres with mental wandering as well. How would you go about it? So
okay, I will take one example. Thank you. I will take one example. Okay, this is the first draft of our book. Yes, yes. And here I will just take one random spirit. Okay, so let's see what it is about to say. Okay, so this one is called Hippolopos, and his faculty is games for the young and old people. So it's a very nice spirit. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'll need to read a little bit about him. He's the main initiators of all toys, cards, and recreational games. He can give the magician a lot of opportunities to play games with both children and adults. This head can help you rediscover your inner child and make you feel young again. He thinks that playing games is one of the fundamental forces of civilization, which will help people rise above their primal instincts and so on. So let's say that you would like to evoke Hippolopus because you really, like to feel young and to have good time and spend more time by playing games, and it's all fun. And really, this spirit is definitely, I mean, almost nothing can go wrong with him, right? Let me see. Uh, okay, some games might turn out to be not so safe, and maybe that's where we can expect counter genius to appear. But anyway, not a big deal about those counter effects here. So he is the spirit of light, definitely. So we want to meet him. What can we do? Well, we should, at the beginning of our interview, I showed you my Christmas tree. Yeah, I think that we should give the same effort if we want to see Hippolopus for the first time, the same effort as we are decorating this Christmas tree, which means that we need to arrange our room to attract his energy. And I made here in my book several suggestions like magical mirror, crystal ball, chalice, different kinds of toys, balls, toy cars, board games, gift for kids, books for children, anything like that. And then some crystals which are like light and happy crystals and so on, like aventurine, citrine, alexandrite, and amazonite. They are something like to attract those positive, joyful, nice energies. And then, okay, we can also decorate our altar or triangle for Hippolopus with some other nice and interesting plants and flowers. Yeah, needed the time to decorate it so that we could attract the energy of this great spirit. Then after that, we should, according to my opinion, really, and it's not only my opinion, I was really like consulting those spirits about that. We should have 9 blue candles, light 9 blue candles, white 9, because the Hippolopus' number is 225, which means, Kabbalistically speaking, the 2 plus 2 plus 5 and ends up with 9. So yeah, we should have 9 candles. It's best to have blue candles. And okay, this is how we prepare our triangle. And after that, we should have a conjuration. So we should make it clear somehow. We should do our best for Hippolopus to hear us, because Hippolopus is obviously very, very busy spirit, like all of them. So maybe if we don't have this clear conjuration, and of course we have our sigil, so he needs somehow to pay attention to us. How? Okay, so we do it by this triangle, and we are also doing this by this sigil, but we are trying to attract him by conjuration. And the conjuration for this spirit should be, according to certain research I made about it, it is Abag, Adonai Malek, Imamiah, Sandalphon, and Uriel. Abag, it is like Adonai. Abag is a very, very, very strong and powerful God's name. Adonai Malek is a God's name which is very closely connected to Malkut, or to the Earth Zone. So by calling those two God's names, probably, it's a good way that Hippolopus could start paying attention to what we are doing. Especially if we have his sigil there, and we did our best to decorate our triangle to attract his energy. Then you say Imamiah. Why Imamiah? He's one of the 72 Shenhaforosh angels, whose faculties partly is very similar to Hippolopus, and he's a Shenhaforosh angel, and by uttering his name, probably, we hope that Hippolopus will now really start paying attention to what we are having to say. Sandalphon is an archangel who is connected to Malkut. He is like a government of Malkut. And Uriel, why Uriel? Because he is the master of the earth element. So you see, to this conjuration, we did our best to ask Hippolopus to come, in hope that he finally has heard our call. So this is how, let's say, we prepare our space. if you want, like Hippolopos, obviously he's not, there is nothing, there's no way we should be afraid of him, So maybe when we ask Hippolopos, we don't need to be within the circle, but still we can like imagine the circle around us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if we make a circle, we can write those God's names within our circles. If we don't write it down, we can somehow powerfully imagine and mentally create those God's names within our circles. Then we have the meditation, and then we have another conjuration, and then we observe, and hopefully we will see Hippolopos coming, or at least his subordinate spirit, because he's very busy. Of course, we should offer him something which we really like, and this will be like an offering, our offering to Hippolopos. And after that, if you feel that he's here, you start communicating with him mentally, of course, or you have some kind of cessation that's him. Maybe he will even appear in a way, etheric form. If you are totally like I am now, like aware of what's happening around me, like if I'm in this conscience, totally in this world, probably the best what I can expect is that he will appear in his etheric form. But if I reach a little bit higher level of my own consciousness, then we will meet each other in the etheric level. So I will be in the etheric level and he will be in the etheric level. So this is still happening here, but he will be in my room, in my etheric room, where I will be in my etheric form. And this will how we will communicate easily. He will say, maybe, would you like to visit my place? I said yes, and then he would guide me to his place in his astral region. And this is when we start talking about mental traveling and astral traveling. So I think that the evocation magic is really connected to astral magic, because we start from evocation and then we end up in the astral region. So when we evoke, we ask them to be our guests. When we go there, we are their guests. So it is connected, actually.
So would you say that,
of course, evocation can move on without astral traveling also. I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, absolutely not. But it's more interesting. Much more interesting. Yes.
Would you recommend then people to, because I know this is a lot of questions people ask as well, is it necessary for people to learn astral travel in order to visit these realms? Would you say, I mean, also as well to do with safety as well, would you say mental wandering is safer than astral travel? And do you feel that astral travel is it necessarily important?
I would like to say this. Yeah, this is a good question. I'd like to say this. If a practitioner has followed up properly those practices from the first Bardon's book, I think that he will be able to astral travel with no problem, actually. That's it. Or maybe, of course, no problem, with some problems, of course, but he will be able, of course. This is one thing. On the other side, so it's not, if you follow the Bardon's teaching, astral travel is there. It's there. So it is. I mean, it's connected. Mental, astral traveling, and also physical evocations. That's a part of his teaching. So that's it. I mean, that's it. So on the other side, there are many magicians who are very advanced and so on, and they have no experience with astral traveling. They have no, because they didn't practice. And there are many other magicians following other schools, and they are not. I mean, they just didn't focus on that, and they don't know how to do that. Of course, they don't need to astral travel. What I don't like about them, they don't say it now, but they used that to say this time ago. Oh, astral projection, no. What you need to do is this evocation, let them appear, because astral projection is nothing but fantasy, it's a stupid thing. They don't say it now, but they used to say like that not long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years. Many people were just rejected astral projection as something totally unnecessary. So yes, I don't know if I could properly answer to your question, but this is my way of thinking.
Could you also talk about a little bit about the difference in between the sort of the consciousness as well of different, so for example, obviously, if I'm correct in my understanding, is that the spheres will bring their projections down into the Earth Zone then projects them onto also the influences onto the elemental realms as well. So I was wondering what the level of wisdom, does it vary according to the different realm that you're in? So if you're speaking with an elemental, is it, say, Earth, say God, or the of the Earth, elemental Earth, and then you go and speaking to an Earth Zone spirit, and then you go and further up into the spheres. What was your experience in sort of wisdom and knowledge? Is there a great difference in between the way they communicate? First of all, I'd like to ask, is there a difference in the form of communication as it's more subtler? And also, is the wisdom that you're given or knowledge that you're given different as well?
Talking about the elementals, those spirits, as I have observed, they are absolutely great spirits, however, they teach about their own elements because they are the experts of their own elements. Like water elements spirits, they will give you fantastic wisdom about the water elements, the air spirits as well. The earth spirit as well, especially they can help you in some material things, and water elements, they can help about love, give you a great wisdom about love and about everything, but within their own elements. And some adventures that you can have with them are absolutely amazing. And I would not say that their teaching is less less important or any kind of less advanced level than the teachings you can hear from the heads of the Earth Zone. They're just what they're talking about is just different and unique also, and it's also very beautiful. Talking about Franz Bardon, I mean about the heads of the Earth Zone. You know, they're not teaching. They can teach about the elements, but they teach about many other things too. For example, most of the first mentioned spirits from each of the zodiacs, like Scorpio zodiac and so on, most of those 2-3 mentioned spirits are always the spirits, or almost always, or I'll say 85%, you know, are the spirits teaching about the fire element. Okay, so if you, it can also happen, you know, that you start receiving certain lessons about the fire elements from the Earth Zone spirits, but in their own unique way. So all of those spirits about the fire spirits, I mean, talking about like salamanders and so on, fire spirits, elemental fire spirits that teach about fire in their unique way. And when we come to the 360 heads of the Earth Zone, their teaching is also very unique. What I would like to say, this is what I've observed, why I think that this school is absolutely great, that all of those spirits are really absolutely fascinating. It is because what they're talking about, and it's somehow related to our knowledge and to our education and to what we know about magic, but somehow they always manage to tell something or, which have that so far never been written in our world. And this is really amazing. They say something and say, wow, that's fantastic. If you later on try to Google it, no way, it was original thinking. It's really amazing, totally amazing. So that's it. So I think that the more advanced you go, you know, the more you will be receiving pearls of wisdom, which have so far not been written in our reality. And you know, it's a little bit for them. It's also a waste of time. You know, if somebody goes there to those teachers of the fire element to ask them, okay, please tell me something about fire, you know, and say, come on, why would I bother telling you something that's written? No, I mean, in this Google, you can have millions of articles about the fire element. I mean, just don't bother them with such things. You know, they could be like I don't know, like just when you want to ask them, they would appreciate really if you ask them certain questions which are like very detailed and very like like which they could find really interesting from you. So they will pay more attention about you. They will respect you more.
That makes sense
And
completely. Yeah.
yes, this is what I think about those differences between. But maybe I didn't really reply to the last part of your question. But maybe I did. I don't know.
Okay, that's really fascinating. I think yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and also as well, each of the aspects of, like you're talking, elementals and the split zones are all in that have their own particular sphere of consciousness as well. So it make complete sense. So you would be learning a certain aspect from that area. I've also wanted if you could share with us a little bit about your experiences, for example, like when you traveled to the Venus sphere, what was it like for us who to share a little bit like that, and we'd love to
Venus,
hear,
yes.
yeah, we'd love to hear about sort of some of the spheres you've been to and the differences between them, and I wonder if you could share that with us as
Okay.
well.
Well, yes, I've been there for several times and yeah, met several of Venus spirits. Actually, this is when I needed to tell you something. You know that you published the book about the moon magic, about the second step to divine providence, moon magic, moon zone. I wrote it together with Cadilia, and she's really a wonderful person, and she is very connected to Venus. So if I ever start writing a book about Venus, I will not do it without her, because her visions are absolutely amazing. I tried to. I mean, she's deeply connected to Venus. I'm, for example, I think more connected to Mercury. So it's easier for me, like, to communicate with Mercury than with Venus. But yes, Franz Verdon mentioned night and explained a little bit about 92. I think there are 92 intelligence from Venus, and Cadilia and I actually evoked all of them. And her experiences about those spirits are absolutely amazing. And I also managed to see and meet some of them. And I would like to say that this is really a fantastic planet. This is the planet which I'd say souls live there, very innocent, very nice, very beautiful souls live in this sphere. uh, they are very benevolent, very artistic, very passionate, and when I talk about spirits, I think about like even humans, but not only humans. I speak about animals who live there are so wonderful, and this is good, only good. So when you're there, you're really afraid to make some stupid thing, like to hurt them. I mean, okay, wherever you go, you need to respect all of those inhabitants, spirits. And talking about the dangers of magic, I can go back again. It can be, I mean, some of the most dangerous things can be done by yourself, actually. So need to really be perfectly, so to balance and appreciate where you are and enjoy their hospitality, because it's very beautiful. The nature is extremely beautiful. We have all possible colors here on our Earth, but they also have those colors, but maybe even more colors, or those colors that we are having, they are even more deeper there, or vibrant than they are here. And yes, many beautiful creatures that teach about art, about the science, and their civilization. I think it starts from the astral level. So I'm very well. Maybe there is a life in the material part of of Venus, But I mean, here it starts here, on the Earth, starts here in the physical reality. But on Venus, probably their life starts at the astral level. So and but it's not only about Venus is not only about beauty and art. those beautiful creatures are protected but furious, very powerful warriors. So what you can also see there are some very powerful protector of Venus, which are really like they look like ancient warriors, strong, and they protect life in Venus. So this is my impression about the Venus. I mean, I could talk a lot about, but I really hope that they want to spoil this with one day, and we need. I need to talk with Cadilia. It would be really very good if we could, the two of us, make this book about Venus, because me alone I cannot do that. No, but with her, yes, I'd like that.
So I know we're going on to the subject of books, actually. So you have a number of books coming out, actually going through the spheres, haven't you? So we have also, as we mentioned earlier, that we have the Moon Zone, which is written by you and Cadilia Ali, and also we also have another book, which is the Mercury Zone as well, which is from the Shem Angels. Could you tell us a little bit about that, your experiences working with them as well?
Okay. It's interesting because Mercury Zone, Shenhaforosh Angels. Okay. In this case, in the case of Mercury, we have a long tradition, actually, and very long tradition. So there are many people in the past writing about Shenhaforosh Angels. What I tried to do in the first part of my book, each part of, this book has 72 chapters, and each chapter consists of 3 parts. The first part is like a theory, about theory, a theory part. In this part, I try to explain why, of something about Shenhaforosh tradition from the ancient time up till today, related to the angel we are talking about. And the first, the second part of each of those 72 chapters are about respective Shenhaforosh angel. And the third part of each chapter is about the advanced magic. So let's say, if you have already established a contact with one of those Shenhaforosh angels, the third part of each chapter is about what to do in the future, how you can improve your relationship with him, what you expect to do next, what else you can learn from him, or where this knowledge can lead you to. And regarding Franz Bardon was also talking about Shenhaforosh angels. But he called them 72 spirits from Mercury Zone. And he was not the first one to tell that, but he was but he is from the same circle, which of magicians, which detected this deep connection between the 72 mercurial genie and 72 Shenhaforosh angels, that they are actually the same spirits. However, they are also connected to the divine sphere. And this divine sphere is something which is very interesting, because it is like the highest possible sphere. And this is on that highest possible sphere, we have divine names. So each one of those 72 Shenhaforosh angels or 72 mercurial spirits are deeply connected with the respective divine name. So according to Franz Bardon, he called those divine names quantity keys. And when he referred to 72 Shenhaforosh angels, he referred to them as 72 quality keys. So of course, when you when you want to evoke or meet a guardian angel, one of those 72 Shenhaforosh angels, you call them, you conjure them by his relevant quantity key, which is very it's the divine name. One of those are really some of the strongest divine names in the whole of the universe, and each one are connected to one of those 72 Shenhaforosh angels. What is interesting about those Shenhaforosh angels is that they are also, they can also be our guardian angels too. So if I know, when you were born, the date when you were born, it's quite easy to check who of those Shenhaforosh angels is your own guardian angel, or could be your guardian angel. this is also one of their gifts to our humanity. They are very benevolent. I mean, very important spirits, intelligence, extremely intelligent spirits. They like our humanity. They act via Mercury, because Mercury close to the sun and close to us. This is a perfect position for them to transfer their great knowledge to us. Because they are connected to their own respective divine names. They can teach us about Yod He Vav He, about God, about divine providence, and they teach us in a way which can make us preserve our sound mind, so to say. And this is also this Hermetic tradition, which is very important. We will teach, we will learn something. We will learn something about God, but we will not become, religious fanatics, and
In balance, yeah. I was going to ask you as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are talking about the Uranus sphere at the moment, and they're saying that the influences with the technological age that we're entering into, this sphere is sort of heavily influencing our planet at the moment. What would you say about this?
Uranus, you talk about Uranus, right? Okay. That's also very interesting. Okay, I would also try to go back, to the fact that we don't discover anything new. Actually, we are just a simple, honest, and modest follower of the old Hermetic tradition. And in this Hermetic tradition, which was also, one of our greatest key to is Franz Bardon, of course. And they all spoke about, since the ancient time, they spoke about 7 planets. And that's 7 planets, actually. We have Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, of course, our own moon, and Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and that's 7. Talking about big Hermetic scripts like Ogdobad and so on, the initiate role was to go to rise above those 7 spirits, 7 planetary zones, in order to meet Hermes Megistus beyond the 7th planet, which is Saturn. And only there he could really enjoy divine bliss and enjoy the wonderful divine symphonies sang by great spirits and so on. This means freedom, actually. And the freedom starts from Saturn. And that's it. Those are 7 planets. Now we're talking about Uranus. And even it was mentioned by Bardon. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, I think it's great. Have I been there or not? I don't think so, but maybe. I don't really always know where I was during my mental projections. That's the traveling. But I'd say that if we go now suddenly towards Uranus after Saturn, could be good as some kind of for us to enjoy art, to enjoy something new, like great adventures, maybe like tourists, so to say. But maybe if we follow the ways of our ancestors, predecessors, we should actually more focus on Saturn and go beyond Saturn. But I'm saying, you see, I don't have anything against those people who'd like to explore that. I would also like to do that. But it's not something that I would really focus on. But I'm talking only about myself, about my feeling, what to do with the Uranus, the Uranus influence.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
I still focus on 7 known planets.
Yes, that's enough this lifetime to go through as it is. Okay.
Even this is more than enough. Even this is more than enough. I mean, even Saturn is Uranus is far away, but Saturn is also far away. So it's enough. I mean, but okay, for some kind of adventures, why not?
Wonderful. Yes. I want to go back to a couple of questions as well. Let me have a look here. Somebody was asking about here we are. Okay, have you ever received specific messages from the Earth Girdling Zone or spheres to offer humanity guidance at this time?
Okay. Uh, uh, you see, I have not received, and this is what they're not really saying, you know, like you should do this or that. I mean, sometimes they do say that, those high spirits, but usually it's more like having clear suggestions, you know, how should each one of us respond towards this big crisis. And I think that what I received from them is that we should do our best to stay healthy. We should do our best to keep on good communication with our best friends, with our friends and relatives. We should do our best to um, preserve our sound mind again and to keep balance within ourselves. Uh, I was talking about this Mercury line of wisdom. Keep following this Mercury line, which means don't really trust so many crazy conspiracy theories, because maybe, you know, this is not the way how you should keep yourself alive and how you should keep yourself healthy and balanced. And you know, uh, uh, so we come to the point that many people say that the COVID is invented. Then many of those people got this COVID, and after that they say, "Oh my God, it really exists." So I mean, so there are many on one side. We have those theories which totally like mad theories explaining why this COVID exists at all. And also we have among those theories the theories telling us that this doesn't exist at all. On the other side, we are really focused. I mean, we are all really subjected to a very bad situation made by uh, most of the governments in our world. Those governments and responsible politicians and responsible medical organizations and uh, they just failed, miserably failed everywhere, and this is also true. And okay, so on one side we have we face with you know, like people who are rebelling, and on the other side we have really incompetent politicians and governments all around the world which didn't care to or were not able to prevent these terrible pandemics. So what to do now? Only to follow this mercurial line of wisdom, and that's it. I think that most of the things I've received from the heads of the Earth Zone and other planetary spirits were on that line, on the line of following this mercurial line of wisdom,
Very
and sending
interesting.
also good vibes to people, support them in all kinds of possible way.
Yes, I think it's
Is this good for humanity? Is this good for the earth? You know, I have never seen anybody telling me, "Look, this is good." No, no, no. I haven't heard them saying that. No.
that's very interesting. Yes, I think it seems to be a lot of what I hear as well from other areas is that it's all about really about unity. I think the message never really changes. We never, regardless of the generation or what we go through in life, it's always about bringing unity, love, harmony, peace. I think those are the core
Totally agree.
aspects
Absolutely.
in
And
life,
it's
aren't they?
unchangeable since the ancient time until today.
Mm,
Absolutely, yes.
mm.
So if we will fail ourselves if we start like supporting too much governments about this and their decisions about everything, but we will also fail ourselves if we would suddenly become a part of those wild people saying, "Wow, wow, wow," you know, everything is faked, everything is like, I mean, this doesn't exist. I'm against all kinds of it. So, yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, it is, or fortunate, it is like that. Just to follow this middle line, let's say, as you say. wisdom, balance, harmony, good vibes, unity. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I want to wrap it up there for today anyway. So I want to say thank you so much, Nenad, for this wonderful interview and for enlightening us of the experiences. And it's been very insightful and wonderful to you to share this with us. And I think a lot of people will be
Yeah, I would
interested
like
to.
to say something, Tanya, which many people would say so, and many people think so. And I'd like to say that today, in this world and in our era, in our own time, you are one of the most important central figures connecting all of us towards your center, you know. And thank you very much for that. Many people really love you and uh, really honor your great work. And thank you, Tanya, for that. Done a wonderful, great job. And thank you for that. I also enjoy talking to you today. Really
Well,
enjoy talking to you.
thank you. Well, I couldn't do it without you all. So you're the ones. You guys are making it great. So that's wonderful. Yeah, it's been absolutely great and a wonderful pleasure. And
Thank you very much, Tanya. Thank you for being inviting and invited and having a chance to speak with you and to tell our dear friends the best that we could, you know, about their brilliant questions. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And I just want to say to everyone here, thank you very much for watching. And also please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you could also find Nenad's book, which is The Moon Zone, co-written by Kadiri Ali. And also with this, we're going to have a paperback, hardback and ebook available with the first volume 1 of the 360 Heads of the Earth Zone as well. So please keep tuned. We'll be updating you with more videos regarding these books. And also another book that Nenad is coming out as well is the Mercury Zone. So that'll be later on this year as well. So lots and lots and lots of things happening and it's very exciting. So thank you very much for everyone. Okay. Bye-bye, Nenad.
Thank you. Thank you.